Hey everybody, it's Ron from Maxfield's Dream Antique Company, and today I'm going to show you some things that I'm going to put in my eBay store probably in the next week. So I've got 4 pieces of Asian antiques and some other random vintagey things that I'll show you. So first up, I love this piece. A lot of this stuff is hard to let go of, but anyway, this is a Meiji period Japanese cloisonne plate. Just beautiful. So you know what cloisonne is with the wires and the enamel put inside. The 2 cranes, some butterflies, flowers. I'll show you the butterflies. Very Asian butterfly. Look at the border. It's almost like Peter Max-ish. Anyway, love this piece, but it's time for it to go. I'll show you the back. It's got the scrolling vine design. There's some damage to the back and some damage to the front too. Just some wear. And you can see little pits from bubbling from the enamel during manufacture. A little bit dirty in the crane's white area there. Something would be ash from the kiln. They did that, but Meiji period. This is going to be late 19th century, maybe early 20th, but circa 1900 plus or minus. Beautiful thing. And then this little trinket box, Chinese cloisonne. Could be late Qing, so late 19th century, but I think more likely, it took a lot of research. It's hard to find a definitive thing to identify it, but could be anywhere, 1900s, early 1900s, 20s, 30s. I don't think this would be 40s, but it's possible. But just gorgeous cloisonne. Floral designs here on copper, I think. So I'll show you the inside. A little bit of wear on this thing, but still a gorgeous, gorgeous piece. Like I said, and love this. It's an English form. This is late 18th century Chinese. Qing dynasty, probably Qianlong Emperor. Might be a little bit afterwards, so we'll say to maybe 1820, 1790s to 1820, copying English forms, because they were very successful selling to the English markets, which is why a lot of the Staffordshire pottery makers were making copies of the Chinese stuff, which is often copies of the English stuff. It's all hand-painted design. It's called a strap handle. A little bit of damage on the edges of the lid, but just beautiful little teapot. Spouts in good condition. Isn't that pretty? Little berry finial of some sort up here. I'll show it to you if you want to see it. Isn't that pretty? Nice little design on the top. Now I know the lid matches the bottom because the design on the lid matches the design on the top of that pretty little teapot. And then it's another late 18th century piece, Nanking ware. Again, could be early 19th century, but I think because of the quality of the work here, now this is not transfer ware, this is hand painted. All these things are hand painted, but typical blue and white of that period with, pagodas and homes, fishermen, always usually on some water, on a lake or a riverside or something. Just incredible painting talent on this one. See the later ones, kind of rough looking. So this one's in reasonably good condition. There's some minor flaws on this one, and it's a little bit of a smaller one. It's got a little bit of a bowl to it. I don't know if it'd be considered a low bowl or what, but that's gonna go up too. Just great artwork there. You see that? So those are my 4 Asian pieces. I'm going to show you. I'm going to jump a little bit here. So this is a piece of what's called elegant glass, right? So post-Depression era, they were still making very pretty glass and pretty colors. This is Heisey Empress pattern, and that's called Flamingo Pink. It's got the dolphin feet on it, made in the 1930s. It's hard to get the exact date. People like couldn't find a definitive resource, but I mean, it's definitely 30s. Might be a little bit before or a little bit after also the time period they made these, but nice big bowl. It's about 10 3/4 inches across. Like I said, it's got the dolphin feet. There's a few little weird flaws to it. Very small. You can't, very hard to see. It's really a great example of the Empress pattern in that flamenco pink color. And then this is 1930s, 40s, maybe 50s. Old candy box. It's metal. A little colonial design there. You see the woman inside the carriage being carried. But the thing that made this special to me anyway, I grew up in Boston, just outside of Boston. And my grandmother worked at Schrafft's, which was a huge candy company in Boston, 19th century. I think they closed 70s, 80s, 90s, somewhere in there. Anyway, but it's got some wear. It's got a little bit of some sort of like feltish covering inside, which is stained. Some wear on the inside too. But it's a great little piece. And I think people, especially from Boston, would collect anything from Schrafft's. It was made in Boston there. Would have been 1 pound of candy in here. And I've got this great little pedal bell. You might have seen this on my previous video. Pulled this out of a bag of junky costume jewelry, a little box of it. Anyway, this is a pedal bell, and I'm pretty sure this is antique. I've sold pedal bells before. You see that little pedal design there? Hard to see. But, you can go by the overall look, but also this little shank, and there's different kinds of shank. Some of them are medieval, like literally medieval. I don't know exactly how old this would be, but it's got the look, and it's got the shank is right for antique or close to it. Be a sleigh bell. Sometimes they call crotal bells. They'd be on animals, I think. But this would be a good sleigh bell. That's what it would have been on, most likely. But it's antique. So I'll probably put 20 on that. And we'll see how that goes. And then, the final piece, I do sell a lot of militaria on my eBay store, on my eBay account. If you go, you'll see some. I have a bunch up now. But this is a combat infantryman's badge. So soldiers, U.S. Army soldiers, men and women, servicemen and servicewomen, are very proud of these. They're not easy to get. And it's not necessarily like for heroism, but the soldiers are proud of it because to get this, you have to have been in combat. In other words, you have to have been fired upon at some point in a 30-day window. So people who get this, if you see this on a soldier, they're very proud of it because it shows they were in action, basically, and their life was in danger. So this one is important. I've got 2 that are vintage. This one's important because this is World War II, and I know that because it's sterling. Do you see the sterling mark there? The sterling ones are World War II. So that's going on my eBay also. So like I said, check out my Instagram and my eBay account. And I've got some other things going to go up, maybe some Victorian clothing. And a few other things. I'll probably do some sort of part 2 in the next week or 2. And I'm going to start another series on art adventures. I got a bunch of art I need to identify, and it's going to be a bit of a process. One is a process I've already completed. I might start with that one. Anyway, hope you guys are having a great weekend. And like I said, check out my Instagram and my eBay. Both have clickable links in my channel description. All right, take care.